It.
We can cut and paste this, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll do a couple question and answers right after this. But real quick, I talked a little bit about some of our promotional jerseys. We're going to have one or two of those that are going to come out that we actually haven't done historically. But just a sneak peek, I actually wanted to bring out a few of the guys in our new kits for 2020. So this is a first look at them. We're actually going to release those tomorrow night at a season ticket holder party. But you guys will get the first shot. So guys, if you want to come on out. Chad, you want to send the guys out here? There we go. You guys can come right up here and line up. So we're actually going to make a little bit of a shift this year. Historically, our black jerseys were actually our home jerseys, and so we're actually going to make that change this year. Our orange jerseys are now our home jerseys. Black are going to be alternate, and then white will continue to be our away kits. So these are our brand new kits. There's some subtle differences and subtle changes, particularly to the jerseys, but we're really happy and glad to partner with Adidas, our apparel partner, on creating these new kits and bringing them out. Chad, we got pictures. We're all ready to go. Zach, we got pictures. Everybody took some pictures.
I'm sure Michael's sponsor is okay with this.
And I'll send you guys professional pictures tonight as well. And so if we can just hold this until tomorrow night at 9.
All right, so we're going to release it to our season ticket holders tomorrow night. And then after that, feel free to show everybody. All right, guys, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Brayden, come on.
Now we'll bring Brayden up.
Thank you, guys. That's it.
Guys, Braden's going to just talk briefly and then open it up for Q&A. So feel free to, ask him questions when he's done.
How's everybody doing?
It's not LAFC.
Good. Like Oliver said, this is our 6th season with the organization. Mine 3rd as a head coach. I spent 3 previous seasons as an assistant coach with the club. But going into this season, the expectations are extremely high. Standards, accountability is extremely high for us. It's the first time, I think, in the history of the organization that we've had our complete roster 2 weeks before the opening day. It's never happened before in the organization. So as we grow and evolve, you can see we're taking steps in the right direction. The first season as head coach, I think we overachieved a bit. We won the Western Conference regular season. Last year, got off to a poor start. Didn't have the personnel in time, but we ended up finishing this season very strong. Got into the playoffs again. But this season, I think, is the first time that we have a roster that I believe can win a championship right from the start. I think the character of the players that we have, the players that we brought in, the balance within the team itself is extremely high and very, very good. And hopefully, all things go well on Friday night. We get 3 points and start off the season on a high note. But like I said, the balance of the team, Oliver mentioned, we have a lot of young players, but we also have a lot of experienced players as well for them to learn from, to set the tone. Bringing back Thomas Innevoltson, but also we add the addition of Rob Kiernan, who's an extremely gifted and talented center back. So with him, Michael Orozco, obviously with Frederick Due, the goalkeeper we brought in last season, with Aaron Cervantes, we're going to have a very, very strong back line. But up front, bringing in Ugo, Sean Coley to replace Michael Seaton's goals, bringing in Thomas Innevoltson, what he did 2 seasons ago. And then with our midfield core group of Aiden Quinn and those guys, I think we have a really well-rounded, balanced team that's going to do some damage in the league. So, questions? Jeff?
Yeah, we'll open it up now for questions. If you have questions for Coach, for Oliver, or myself, feel free. Go ahead.
Tim Bird from OC Sports Zone. What's it going to take to win the title this year for you guys?
Consistency with everything. Injuries, with performance, but it starts Friday night. We can't dig ourselves into a hole like we did last year. 2 seasons ago, we got off to a fairly decent start the first half of the season, carried some momentum into the playoffs. We got to the final. But last year, definitely we started off very slow. And I think this year it's all about consistency. Like I said, we set our standards extremely high this year within the team, within the organization. And I think that we have a team that can right from the start. I know we have a lot of home games in the beginning of the season. We have to get off to a good start and take as many points as possible.
So
Ray from Orange Black Soccer Cast. One of the big announcements this offseason was bringing back Thomas Bolton, again, the leading scorer from a couple seasons ago. How high was that priority-wise for the team, coaching staff, and also Oliver for the front office?
Well, definitely, I mean, I'll speak on the technical staff. Obviously, the organization is a massive acquisition to bring Thomas back. So I thank Oliver and James for helping me there. But definitely, it's one of the things when we look back at the season before and looked at last season where we lacked goals and where the goals were coming from. And Thomas was definitely somebody that, you know, is probably the best finisher in the league. And, you know, we look back and said, you know what, we're going to need to find goals. And Thomas became available, and I went to Oliver and I said, he's somebody that we need to bring back. And like I said, I'm grateful to Oliver and James for getting the deal done.
Jad with LA Times en Español. Coach, what would you take away from the friendlies out of the preseason?
Well, the preseason, obviously, we you know, taken away is just our style of play, getting everybody on the same page. During the preseason, it's a little bit difficult at times because you're waiting on players coming in on visas with different acquisitions, players coming and going in and out of the preseason. But from the preseason, it's just mainly our style of play, getting into a good rhythm, getting everybody fit and up to speed with how we play. And I think we've done a really good job this year, better than the years in the past. You know, and I think I can reference one season where we won every single preseason game, and in that season we failed to make the playoffs. And being a big Kansas City Chiefs fan, Kansas City Chiefs had a really poor preseason, but then they obviously won the Super Bowl. So preseason for us gives us opportunities to, you know, experiment, try new things, obviously try to get on the same page, but you probably learn more from a little bit of adversity and situations where you might concede a goal here and there, as opposed to having everything perfect during the preseason, because obviously once the games start on Friday night, there's no room for error. We need to get points. So I think we've done a good job, done a lot of video, educating the players on how we play, new players coming in. But it also helps, like Oliver said, that we brought back 12 players that understand exactly what Orange County Soccer Club is all about, to help educate and get the other players up to speed quickly.
It's interesting you talk about bringing the 12 players back and then the acquisition of Thomas based on your study of last year. But it seems like this league especially is a moving target. I mean, when you look at the investment in San Diego, Landon Donovan coming back, the league just continues to grow. It's like you may have the best team for last season, but this season's going to be totally different.
100%. You have to keep evolving, and I think that we've done a good job in this club from day one, from where we were 6 years ago to where we are today, of evolving. But like we said, you know, expectations are extremely high for us, for the organization, and so within that we have to keep growing. And you know, the growth of the league from probably 3-4 years ago, where you never retained players and it was a constant turnover every single year, it was very difficult to get into a good rhythm and create a style and an identity within the organization. I think we've done a really good job now with the players that we've retained. And like I said, you know, one of the highest things for us to look at as a player, not only technical ability, and with Thomas with scoring goals, is also character. And I think this year, I think a lot of the players, and you'll get an opportunity to ask them, but I think the character of the team, from the individuals that we brought in, back up exactly what we're trying to build. And within the locker room itself, it's a very strong character group who all understand their roles and responsibilities, and they're holding each other accountable and keeping the standards extremely high.
Thank you.
Any more questions? No? All right. Thank you very much.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're going to have one-on-one time now, so we're going to bring out groups of players, chat 5 at a time pretty much.
So we have about 5 right now.
Basically have them stationed in 5 different areas, and so that if you're interested in doing one-on-ones with any of the players, we'll have a couple of those groups running through for, I don't know, about 40 minutes or so here. And then if